Hello and welcome back to another episode of Making Art in My Garage late at night. I think it's episode 53. I'm not sure, I lost count. Anyways, I have this box of old acrylic paints here, which is old because it used to belong to my grandfather, and he's not even around anymore. So that should give you an idea of how old that is. This is another bag of acrylic paints I have, and these are also very old. You can see some are so old that they are still made in the United States, and all the stuff comes off them when you move them around. I'm just going to start by giving a base coat to the little skeleton men. Put a little bit of paint on there. Perfect. I have water here to dilute it, and I had a water cup somewhere. I'll find one if I need it. So this paint's kind of old, and if I run out of it, then I run out. Sucks for me. I'm gonna this paint looks pretty opaque, so I think I'm gonna, instead of just covering the eyes and everything and the nose, I'm gonna try and leave it so I know where that is, because I don't think I'll be able to see through this paint once it's dry. We'll see. I'm going to try and just put down a base coat of every color, and then once that's down, I'll go over it with additional coats to make it a little nicer. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. I think the blue undercoat is going to give it a nice cooling effect. Alright. So that looks terrifying. Now that I'm looking at it, this doesn't really look like a skeleton color. It looks more like a skin color. Not good. It's fine, I'll go over it with white or something. It'll be great. It'll be just fine. The little fingers. And I'm not painting like the little joints or bones just yet, because I'm going to leave that to the end. I'm just going to use a black either marker or just a fine brush and then go in and do the bone details. Right now I'm just going to block out the main colors. And it doesn't have to be super pretty. It just has to get on there and get the idea across. Whoops, first drip. And drips are okay too because they add character. It's one thing that I'm still working on, is trying to be more loose with my work. I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I do like things to come out a certain way. We're almost done with the first little squirt of paint. I have a feeling that I'm gonna run out of this color, which I'm not too upset about, because the more I look at it, it's like skin color. It's like the completely wrong color. It's okay though. I kind of did that with the last painting too. Alright, let's see, where's some more fingers here? Little banana hands. Alright, and there. Alright, more paint. Let's see, what is the color of this paint? Antique white. BS. It's not antique white. This is sand color. This is sandy tan. That's what I would call it. But I want to leave it upside down because I've almost run out already of this sandy tan color. And after that, we're going to be using, no, this one's actually called flesh, so we won't be using that. Or have this color, which it looks like a off-white, and it is still wet, so maybe we can just use that one next. One of the fun parts about using old art supplies is you never know what you're going to get. So far, so good. Too bad I'm going to run out of paint soon. I'm almost wondering if this paint looks a certain way because of the blue undercoat. It probably wouldn't look as skin colored if it wasn't on this blue, if it was on something else. It almost looks yellow, which is a little bizarre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 skeletons. Hey, that's pretty cool. 7's a great number. I totally did it on purpose. All of the skeleton men anyway. Oh wait, I don't know why I'm being so careful. There's a guy's head right here. So we've run out on there. So the only thing we have left to do now is chop off the... Wait, I got an idea. There we go. I don't know if you can see in there, but we got a little bit more paint. That's all gross. It's all gushy. Oh, I got one more hand down here. I see another hand. Alright, so just step back and make sure I didn't miss any hands covered in here. Looks good to me. Alright, sweet. There, perfect. Alright, take a sip of my tea here. Get the paint off of this brush. Now, I guess I'll just use this here jar. What is that? Yeah, it's not good. Not this color. Let's see, what color blues do I have? Blue. I kind of need a lot because It's all the suits are the main color. I have this jar of blue that is really hard to open. Let me smack it around. All right, here we go. Did you know if you are having trouble opening a jar, you can smack the edges a bit? It's going to damage the lid, but it makes the jar easier to open. Unless it's filled with paint. Hey! This is, by the smell of it, this is house paint. Ooh, that's some good house paint. But it's it's very bright. It's like a sky bluey house paint. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that color for their suits. It might be fun. I like the color that their suits are now. Like a drabby, darky blue. You know what? I'm gonna do the phones first. Let's do the phones. So, I got some acrylic enamel, real red. My assistant has just brought me water. Thank you, assistant. So as you can see, I'm using some real cheap paint here because that's the beauty of art supplies. They come in a range of qualities, everything from cheap to expensive. This is a nice bright red. I'm worried it might be a little too bright. Let's see, do I have something darker? Wow, paint's not supposed to do that. Oh boy. But I do like this color, so what's this here? Paint tester. I think this might be house paint. No, I'm just gonna use this one. This one's fine. And I'll use my lovely palette here. Get a little bit of this paint on there. Oh, that's how it's good. Maybe I should have shook it a little. I don't know if that would have helped at all. Ugh, sounds terrible. That's why I keep little mixers around. Well, it's paping up a little bit. That's a little better. All right, another brush. All right, I'm using this brush. Nice, cheap, I love to paint, made in China brush. The bristles are very firm, but I think it'll be perfect for my needs. That's pretty good, I like it. Exactly what I wanted. So I'm starting with a darker red first because I want to get the parts that are gonna be in the shade, in the shadowy parts. This is for that. I know that most of my phones that I've drawn here are not three-dimensional, they're pretty flat, but still I'd like to have them have some depth by having a little bit different shades of red going on, not just one flat red. And I think red phones was an excellent choice because everybody's going to want a red phone after this. Yes, excellent. Hi Mickey. We got Mickey in the studio today too. So, funny story. I was thinking about rebranding the name of this channel. Not the name of the channel, it's still going to be Beebosloth. But the name of this, what is it called? What I'm doing in the garage. I was going to call it Fine Art Garage, but if you take the first letter of each of those words, you get a not so brilliant word. So I decided against that. I think we'll just keep it to the making art in my garage late at night format for now, until I can come up with something a little bit more, I don't know, palatable. Aha! I have come across a place where I need more finger color, or sorry, skull bone color. Mickey, I'm not giving you squigula. Right here, he's got his little fingers peeking out. Can't forget the antennas. As I said, I think red is the perfect color for the phones. I think yellow is the perfect color for the background. I think, unless the background is gonna be blue. I have a lot of yellow paint. That's why one of the main things has to be yellow. The suits, wait a minute, if that part of the phone is 3D, then it needs a bottom. Perfect. And don't let anyone ever tell you that painting is hard. Painting is easy. It's super easy. It's the easiest thing ever because it just is. You can never mess up unless you're one of those people who makes mistakes. I'm not. I never make a mistake. I paint perfectly every time. Red is also a good color for phone because it's the color of ketchup, and ketchup you put in your mouth, and a phone you talk into it, and it's also close to your mouth. And lipstick is also red, and that goes on your mouth. So by this logic, red phone's good color for phone. Red, good color. Also, in some cultures, red is considered to be a very lucky color. Some people even believe that human blood is red. Only in certain cultures. Sometimes I wonder if my paintings have some kind of hidden esoteric meaning, unbeknownst even to me. For example, there's 7 skeletons. How many phones are there? How many buttons are there? what if all of that adds up to something and I don't even know it? The cosmic, what is it called? Cosmic numerology or whatever. Maybe it's all predetermined. And also, I'm not sure, but I think sometimes these phones are supposed to be going over their faces, and I don't know if I've been doing it right or not. So we'll see when I take a step back. What I've noticed is that the good old spin the canvas around reveal, that's a hit. People enjoy those videos, even though they're pretty tired, but they still get the good engagement. And then also the videos where, like what I'm attempting to film now, where it won't show the whole process, it'll just show a little bit of paint here, and then this color, and then oh presto, it's done. So the time lapse being like, here in 15 seconds, I show you how the entire painting is created. People don't care about that. What they do care about is here in 15 seconds, I show you up close how I put on a little bit of paint in these random areas, and then oh, big reveal, the painting is done. So I don't know if that's something psychologically where people just don't, I don't know, they just don't care about the process, or they're just more interested in seeing paint being applied up close. Maybe it's more like an ASMR thing. It's more pleasing. I don't know. I'm learning so much. This red that came out as a red lipstick is actually really nice. And what's funny about this paint, it's basically craft paint. It literally says craft paint on it. I can see it from here. It's considered to be the bottom of the barrel type paint in terms of quality. But I don't know, maybe it's because this is older craft paint. Maybe it was made a little bit differently back then, but it goes on really nice. It's really opaque. And for the most part, it's drying very well too. It's not drying like that dry, gross craft paint look that I feel like a lot of craft paint has. This just feels like decent acrylic paint. No shade on the craft paint whatsoever. Like I said, I don't know, maybe the more modern stuff isn't as good. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Holy crap, 13 phones? Wow, there is something esoteric going on here. I think this painting is going to bring whoever buys it an incredible amount of luck. They're probably going to win the lottery, or would not be surprised. If I start measuring stuff, I'll probably find some golden geometry ratios in here too. Some Fibonacci sequences. This painting was sent to me from on high. Praise the Lord. Alright, here we go. We got 4 more phones. The wonderful thing about acrylic is that the little skull faces are almost dry, so I'll be able to paint next to them and not worry about mixing the paint. It'll just go right over the top, which is nice. With oil paints, none of this would be dry today. It would take 2 or 3 days minimum. I'm going to do some white on their shirts now. I don't think I need too much paint here. I don't think I need a very big brush either. Oh, that's too soft. This one's from Russia. It says Albatross, Russia. Orange? For what? For the suit? Might be a bit bright. Might be a good idea. So I'm just going to do some white for for wherever their shirts are popping out. I'm just using this Liquitex white. Still don't know what color to do the ties. Maybe orange, maybe pink, maybe some kind of bright accent color. Not sure. I gotta do another one of these. So I think I'm actually gonna leave the suits kind of like the color that they are. But I like the idea of doing a really crazy color one. For the next painting, I can do all these skeleton men with their phones and stuff, and then do just all gnarly colors. But this one, I like the idea that the colors are just the primary colors. White looks really cool on this blue backgroundy color. Alright, oh, still missing some spots. So with the colors and stuff, I think what I'm gonna do, as previously mentioned, is I think I'm gonna leave the blue, the suits that bluish color, and then I'll hit that last maybe with, or maybe I can put some ink or something on that. Maybe paint it with ink, see how that looks. I think that might be a good idea. Paint it with some blue ink. Let's actually give that a shot. So I have this blue ink right here. This is from a Pilot marker. This is ink refill paint for these guys. So it's serious stuff. It's probably gonna smell really strong. Oh my goodness, that's a really strong smell. Oh, what? Wow. Whoa. So this is really quite a dark blue. I'm gonna just give it a bit of a... I think what I might do is just pour some into some water and dilute it in some water, and then give the suits a coat of this stuff. We'll see how that goes. It's going so far, but I know that the red, once I give it another coat, the red's really gonna pop. I got the blue to pop too. Let's see, just put it right here where it's gonna get bent around the side. Oh wow, this is, holy moly. This ink is very blue, very bright. I think it's also going to dry shiny, which not a big deal because, oh wow, this ink doesn't really like water. It just floats on the top of it. It's very dark. I thought that I'd be able to dilute it. All right, well, so I've already gone over my time limit, but I really just want to try one last thing, and it shouldn't take longer than maybe 15-20 minutes. And that is, I just want to fill in the background a bit because I want to see what it's going to look like with the yellow. Except now that I'm doing it, it looks like it's going to turn into green. All right, that tells me that I need to undercoat the background with white first. Whoops. So let me then just reposition myself here. I knew in the back of my mind that I'm going to need a white undercoat for the yellow. That's why I did a white undercoat for the yellow on the explosion down at the bottom.
Sorry.
Where are they? Your mom's looking for her wallet chain?
Yeah, I think it was in her cardigan pocket, but we don't know where the cardigan is.
Hey. Alright, so this is going to help the yellow pop immensely. I'm going to have to go over that once it's dry. Right here I'm just basically trying to get this done as quick as I can because I got to go do some graphic design work. Whew! It's funny how tired my arm gets from just a little bit of painting. Oh, whoops. Alright, so this is as far as we got today. Looks pretty good. I really like the suits as the color that they are. The texture that they have, the uneven quality of the color. I think it brings a nice kind of grit to the image. With the bright background and the bright phones, I think the blue is really going to tie it together. The thing now that's going to have to happen is tie color, button color, and I think the buttons are actually going to be yellow, so I should have just painted that as well, but I'm out of time. So tomorrow we'll get a little bit further. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your likes, your comments, and I will see you tomorrow. How interesting. I'm learning so much.